Wow. Wow. I mean, I really don't need to be up here to give any more than what CJ had expressed, in what Zamar had expressed, in what our incredible musicians had already expressed. Incredible, right? How you feeling? How you feeling? All right, I want you all to stand up. Stand up. If you didn't already shake whatever you need to shake off, shake it off. Shake it off. Be here now. Be present now. Let Spirit do what Spirit needs to do now. Right? We don't have time to waste. We don't have time to put the stuff in our pockets and go outside. We don't have that time to mess with this stuff. We have to let it go. In front of me, I have my quote-unquote bowl of light here. And so in this bowl are the stones that represent the stuff. And today we're going to talk about again and again, because every time that I come up here, it is relevant to what we talk about and how we are meant to take the stones out of our bowl and allow the bowl to shine the beautiful light that it's meant to shine. So this is here as an example. If throughout the talk, anytime throughout this period that I have, the next 30 minutes that I have to speak, if you feel like coming up here and grabbing a stone of your own because it represents some of your trauma, some of your pains in life, then come up here and grab a stone or 2 stones or 3 stones, whatever you want to grab from this bowl. And then I want you to go through the process of getting rid of these stones. That's why this bowl is here. As a visual reminder for you that beneath these stones, the beautiful light that is meant to exist within us exists. You got it? Take a breath. Clear space. Release that breath. Take another breath. I'm receiving all of God's goodness right now, all of God's love right now, and I'm releasing what no longer serves me. Exhale. Take another deep breath and hold it at the top. I am transformed. I am renewed. I am everything that God intends for me to be. And I release again what no longer serves me. I don't want you to fill that space with anything else just yet. I want you to think of that space as open and available for God to do what God needs to do within my life, within this empty space. I'm not filling it with thoughts of yesterday. I'm not filling it with thoughts of the future. I am leaving the space for God to whisper love to me. That's what this space is for. But I have to listen. I have to be purposeful. I have to be open and available. Take another breath. Release. Look around to your neighbor. Tell them, I love you. Feel this love. Know this love is real. Go ahead and take your seats. It is a blessing for us to be together again, for me to be here. Thank you. To share what I need to share, and really, it is a continuation of CJ's message. It is a continuation of messages that I have already come up and shared from Zeal. I don't know if you didn't feel the zeal today, oh my goodness. I need you to feel the zeal. To wake up and know that this month, just because it is November and the month of elimination doesn't only happen in November. It happens in December, January, February, March, April, May. Every day of the year, elimination occurs. Every year or every day of the year, zeal must occur. We have to be reminded of these things. If even just 1 month a year, we're reminded of who we ought to be for the entire year. Not just for this moment. I talk about elimination, but we don't hold our stones and wait for November to come, because now I'll be reminded I'll be reminded that I need to let go of my stones in November of 2026. 2025. Almost 2026. But for 2026 too. So it is, and you don't have to sneak up to the bowl to grab a stone. Just come and grab a stone. It is important for us to get it.
Can I just touch a whole bunch because I have a whole bunch?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can take the whole bunch too. Beautiful. And as you are grabbing your stones, I'm going to continue talking, okay? Because as this is occurring, things are happening. Things are bubbling within our lives. And there's never a time where there's enough space for us to really consider what is happening. We have to deal with multiple things at one time. And if we cannot learn to balance these things, then we again lose our focus, we lose our way, we come back to something that should have been dealt with a long time ago. We come back to something that should have been dealt with 30 years ago in CJ's case. She had left, just as I had left the church that many years ago. I had gone on my own path to discover what I needed to discover along the way. And in that time, I had learned so much about who I was and who I was meant to be, that now would not have been possible if not for that journey. Your story would not be possible if not for that journey. And all of us share that similar type of story that we need to share. Different particulars throughout the story. But yet the hero's journey is all about this journey. The 30 years, the 40 years. That we seem to have lost our way. But yet in the losing of our way, we are really finding our way. And nobody would be there to teach us these things if not for getting off of what we thought was supposed to be who we were meant to be at that time. So, it's funny, I haven't even started my talk yet. Matthew 11, 28 through 30. Jesus says within this, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. And you will find your rest. You will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." But we take 30 years to find that out. We take a lifetime to find that out. As much as we know this scripture, and as much as we know what Jesus intended to say through his words of that time, we have not spent time to breathe that in, to understand for ourselves. To understand what Christ consciousness is, to understand what this clearing is, to understand that the things that I have set up for myself in the ways that I think are rigid in the school process, in the different groups and the different ways that I receive this knowledge, I think those are the only way that I'm going to receive this enlightenment, and really it's not. It's within the silence of it. It's within us coming back time and time again to the words of Jesus that I'll take your burdens from you. I'll carry your stones. I'll throw the stones away because I find no value in these stones as much as you find value. These stones mean nothing to me. Release them. They should mean nothing to you. But we forget along life's path. And I am here as one entity, as one spirit, to remind you that we are not the stones. I am not even the bowl. I said that the last time that I spoke about zeal. I am not even the bowl. I am the light within the bowl. I am the light without the bowl. Within the mindset of who I am meant to be, I'm not even constructed to carry any stones. And yet in our humanness, we believe that we are meant to carry stones. And I'm asking you to release that. Change how you think of yourself. Change who you think you might be and need to be. Think of where we come from. If we come from the divine, if we come from God, who is all light and all love, then I am all light and all love. And this shell that carries me is meant to just support me in this short amount of time that I have here on earth. But really it's meant to harbor this spirit that is meant to share the messages of transformation, share these messages of elimination, share these messages of the fact that you are light and only light and love. Isaiah 43:18-19, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. You know, we talk a lot in unity and metaphysics about the power of now, and the now is right here, right now, every second. Even this is the past. As soon as my hand comes down, it's gone, it's done. Even in this little pause, I am now in the past. Speed of light is happening right here, right now, and everything that I just thought of is now in the past. And this is what is asking of me, to let it all go, because the only thing that exists is who I am to be right now, and carry that forward. If I am all light and all good and all love, then be all light, all good, all love right now, forevermore. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of reminding. It takes a lot of releasing of who our humanness tells us we ought to be. Again, I'll remind you, you label me, you negate me. If we label ourselves, I negate everything who I am to be. If you even call me kahu or reverend or Mr. or whatever title you might give to me, then you're negating the rest of me. If you call me, oh, Ryan's a good artist, Ryan is a good singer, then you negate the rest of me. So I am saying to you, do not enclose yourself into the definition that you give yourself, into the title that you give yourself. A lot of people take pride in who they are and what they have become, what they have studied in life. I am Dr. So-and-so. So what? It does not matter. None of that matters. If you can call yourself doctor, reverend, teacher, whatever it is that you call yourself, and yet go out and treat others without aloha, without love, then I fail as a human. I fail as being someone who is meant to enlighten the world. Be careful what you call yourself. Be careful who you think you should be. But dive deeper into who you know you ought to be. And that comes by us remembering where we come from. Growth requires spiritual decluttering, a deep cleaning. You can't hold or hoard old hurts and expect new blessings. If this bowl is filled with stones, I have no space within this bowl to bring light. I have no space within this bowl to bring goodness, to bring love, to bring aloha. Last night, Rain and I dropped off her friend, Kayla, after spending a long day with us. And when we got to her house, there was a homeless man inside of the dumpster reaching for food. And Rain's first reaction was, oh my God, Dad, there's a homeless guy there. Dad, he looked at us. And I was like, honey, take it easy. Understand that it's all about love and aloha. I grabbed the half sandwich that I ate. I grabbed the cornbread that I had in my car. I went up to him and said, brother, you hungry? Oh, bro, yeah, I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. Here's a half sandwich. Here's a cornbread. How you doing? You okay? Yeah, good. I'm good now. You need a fork? Yeah, I need a fork. Gave him my fork. Fist bump. Take care, brother. You take care of yourself. Bro, thank you so much. Thank you. Went back in the car. I told Rain, that's the lesson, Rain. If we operate from fear, then all we create is more fear. But if we operate from love, then everything falls. Everything melts away. If our bowl is filled with stones of fear, of anger, of frustration, of all the things that are opposite of aloha, then what are we to become but anger, fear, frustration, the stone itself? But if we let go of these things, then all we have to hang on to is pure light and love. Pure aloha. So time and time again, this will overlap. Every time that I'm here to speak, it'll overlap on the attributes and the qualities of aloha. How many of you memorized yet what aloha is? 3 people, 5 people. Come on, the rest of you, let's go. Aloha, I'm going to remind you, akahai, to be kind and gentle. Akahai. Let's say it again, akahai, to be kind and gentle. To live with grace. To look at others not through the lens of fear, but through the knowing of love. I am there to give love. I am there to be love for others. Lokahi. Lokahi. Harmony. Balance. Unity. Lokahi. Everything that we do in life has to come with this acknowledgement of balance. In the Hawaiian mindset again, Kiakua, God, Aina, land, Kanaka, people. And the more that they understood this balance, they know that God would take care of us, take care of the land. The land, if we took care of the land, would in turn feed us and take care of us. Kanaka, we had different skill sets, so we needed to depend on each other in order to survive in this archipelago, thousands of miles away from the next nearest landmass. So they needed Lokahi to survive. The O is Olu Olu. Come on, I went to only 5 people over here. The whole church, Olu Olu. Olu Olu. To be in agreement. To work towards agreement all the time. Majority of our time, 99% of the time, we're going to find ourselves agreeing or disagreeing with ourselves even, and that counts. But if we're in disagreement with each other, then we cannot move forward. There's no way. If you're in a relationship right now with your significant other, if you get into a disagreement, and perhaps even this morning, maybe you got into a little disagreement, a little argument, that you're still carrying that weight. You're still carrying the stones of that disagreement. And you're finding it hard to receive the words that I'm sharing with you. You're finding it hard to get excited about the music that you just heard. Then you're giving up the pain and the hurt for the love. You rather spend time with the stone than the love. So come to agreement quickly. Release what no longer serves you and receive what will allow you to come out shining, blazing. Olu Olu. The H is ha'a ha'a. I know it's a difficult word to say. Say it again. Ha'a ha'a. Ha'a ha'a is humility. Modesty, to carry no ego. This goes back to the labeling too, right? You label me, negate me. Our ego is what needs labels to survive, because then it can stratify everything that we see in our minds to separate things as we go. This is the work of ego. And within ha'a, it does not exist at all. Within humility, within a love that is free to love, ego cannot be present. It cannot even survive in that way, in that place. If love is everything to me, then ego cannot be present. So that's ha'a ha'a. Release of that ego. The last A is ahonui. Ahonui. Ahonui is patience. Patience through perseverance. In other words, we're going to need this patience to go through everything that we're going to go through in life. All of the struggles, all of the things that we're going to experience in life. We need patience, because at the end of this patience is knowing that goodness will come. If I put together all of these qualities and attributes of Aloha and practice them every single moment of every day, then I become the love that Aloha suggests. Ahonui Antipilahi Paki said it is waiting for the moment. And the moment was not something that was far off in the future. The moment is right here and right now, and now, and now, and now. The moment is always happening. Waiting for the moment means I have to get it. I have to understand my purpose, my total purpose for being here and sharing love. And in this waiting, in ahonui, I am becoming as much as I am transforming and releasing. I am becoming. But I can only become if I eliminate and release. Constant work in progress. There's never a time I can just settle in and know that, okay, akahai, lokaya, olu, ha'a, ahonui. I know these. But again, if I'm not doing these, it doesn't matter. If I'm not becoming these, it doesn't matter. Aloha is incredibly powerful. And the thing that I'm lucky enough to be one of those that can share it every single day of my life because of the amount of weddings that I do every day. And every wedding I share Aloha. I share the deeper sense of why this is so important. For a couple who have never heard of this before, man, it gives them a clear direction in the qualities and attributes that they should constantly work with and be focused on as they walk this walk. So your hero's journey, the call to adventure, discovery, or really not discovery, but recovery. We are relearning about who we truly are. We're not discovering something that never existed within us. We are uncovering, just as we take stones, we're uncovering the light that we are already. There's never a time that this light did not exist within us. We're taking away the layers. We're understanding that everything, the reason why that I am sad, the reason why that I am frustrated is because the layers that I have impacted within the bowl that I carry, not allowing the light to shine. So we are in recovery mode. Within the hero's journey, Joseph Campbell shared with us the fact that the hero's journey is a story in every indigenous culture throughout the world. We tell the stories of the hero, the one who saw something that needed to be done, began the journey, discovered struggles along this journey, found more about himself than he did about the prize at the end of this struggle, and learned where at the end that he truly understood what it was to be a hero. And it was never about himself, right? It was about who he was always meant to be from the beginning. And so we have stories like Moana, right? Everybody saw Moana over here, almost everybody. Right? So Moana, if she had never dared to leave her island, the comforts of her island, she would not have learned to overcome the evil that was in the world, the transformation towards bad that was happening. But because of her bravery, because of her courage, she set out knowing that she needed to do this. And she had Maui to guide her along the way. As rascal as Maui was, he helped her get to the place where she needed to. We have Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, of course. His mentors along the way was Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi. But if he never chose to leave, or if he never saw the bigger reason on why he needed to leave Tatooine, then the dark side would have won in the end. But because of that bravery and courage and the finding out of who he truly was beneath all of the stuff, they were able to win out over the dark side. And then, of course, a non-fiction version of this would be, how many of you know the story of Nainoa Thompson and the revival, the restoration of our indigenous or Hawaiian, Polynesian really, navigational skill sets. If not for Nainoa Thompson, he would never have met Maupiailu. Maupiailu was one of the last open ocean navigators who still held the knowledge of our ancient ones. And he shared this knowledge with Nainoa Thompson. From 1978 was their first journey to Tahiti and back to Hawaii. And that began the restoration and the revival of Polynesian open ocean voyage. Again, it reconnected our Polynesian people back to our ancestors' knowledge of reading the stars, of paying attention to the different characteristics of the ocean, the birds, the skies, the storms, everything allowed them to open their eyes to see how we ought to navigate. And we can use this in how we navigate our own lives as well. It was a beautiful renaissance of our Hawaiian culture, and that revival of open ocean navigation also opened up the revival of learning Olelo Hawaii. Allowed the students of the late or early 90s to start joining immersion schools like Punana Leo, so on and so forth, creating a generation of Hawaiian-speaking individuals once again, reconnecting us to our past. But this all took courage. All of this took a lot of strength to be able to go through a journey. So I always liken it to our Polynesian people, not knowing what was beyond the horizon, but because they had the courage to go find out. A lot of them perished along this path. However, a lot of them also succeeded. They found new island homes that they could inhabit, that allowed our Polynesian people to spread across the entire Pacific Ocean. In the shortest amount of time that it took humanity to find their way across continents, across land, our Polynesian people found all of the islands throughout the Pacific in a shorter amount of time. So it was a great, great feat of humanity. So release, let go, or be buried by the stones. I think now Now you understand. At first the bowl was filled with stones, and as we get lower and lower to the bottom, we see the beautiful gold that shimmers and shines. And that's what I'm talking about. The more that we let go, the more that we find our purpose in this life, the more we recognize of who we're meant to be. There's still about 30 more stones. I'm just saying. 28, 27 stones. So when Lazarus had died, Jesus was asked to go and bring him back to life. And when Jesus went to Lazarus' tomb, he didn't say, Lazarus, come out and bring the clothes that you're wearing out with you. Bring the clothes that you're wrapped in that symbolizes your death, that symbolizes your passing. He simply said, unbind him and let him go. Jesus was asking death to release Lazarus, to allow him to shed whatever the clothes that he was wearing in death and come out in life. He was asking Lazarus to come back into the light from the cave, from the darkness of his tomb, to step into the light. The grave clothes of your past must come off. And in the same way that I had mentioned before in Matthew 9:17, new wine cannot be put into old wineskins, because the new wine will tear the old wineskins. It must be put into new wineskins in order for that wine to hold within the wineskin. So it's the same thought, the same way. So the bowl of light again is teaching us to remove the stones of anger, shame, comparison. I am not enough. I am no good. And if we release those, then we are releasing ourselves, or what we thought was ourselves that are holding us back. And so with the stones that you take, there are 10 more stones. 10 more stones. 10, just 10. So in this release process, I want you to, those of you who have stones, and if you didn't grab a stone, there are plenty outside. If you didn't grab a stone, or if you have your stone, I want you to really, this is only one stone, one representation of all the things that you might carry in your life. And I want you to see this stone for what it is. And I apologize to the stones earlier, because it's not their fault that they are meant to carry your pains, your hurt. Right? The stones, these were not even meant for this purpose today. They were meant for a garden somewhere. And I bought a bag and put it in a bowl. So I had to apologize to the stones. But I am thanking the stones also for carrying this burden. And I want you to thank the stones as well. Everything that you feel, the hurt that you feel, that you're pouring into the stone, I want you to say, I thank you for the lessons that you have taught me. I thank you for the things that you have allowed me to see of myself. I thank you for holding the turmoil, the struggle, the pain that I have experienced throughout this life. I thank you for holding that for me. And as I release you, I want you to release it as well. And in the releasing, I want you to take your stone and go to a beach in your own private time and sit at the beach and talk. Just talk to Spirit. Talk to God. Ask God to guide you. Ask God to speak wisdom into you. Ask God to take these troubles away from me. Allow them never to come back. Allow me to see myself in new skin. Allow me to be Lazarus, wrapped in clothes that were meant for me to be alive. I want you to go to the beach, thank your traumas, thank everything that you had experienced, and toss them into the ocean. Let them go. Thank the ocean, thank the stone, thank the sand for holding you up on that beach. Thank the wind for blowing, thank the sun for shining, because everything is responsible for supporting you in your release process, including every one of us here are meant to support each other on this release process. 10 more stones. Well, I'll take one. 9 more stones. I'll take one. 9 more stones in there. The only way that the hero learns of who he is truly meant, he or she are truly meant to be, is to go on that journey. And all of us are on our own journeys. And again, I thank the road behind me. I thank the stones that are upon this road. I thank every branch that was covering this path. And there will be more stones that I'm going to kick along the way. There will be more branches that I have to hop over along the way. But the difference is, before I never saw those things. And I did it blindly. Now my eyes are open as I look forward. Now I can see the steps that I must take as I move forward. I see the end as the hero's journey suggests. There is something at the end that is shining upon this path, and this is where I'm headed. But the real lessons come with every step that I take along this path. This is the journey that we are truly on. So I want you to ask along this way, what fear am I nurturing? What story keeps me small? What habit keeps me tired? What things do I need to let go of? Why are these stones more important than the light that I am? Why have I made the story of my pains the thing that defines me? They no longer define me. When you see me up here, when you feel the things that take place up here, from the music, from just your closed eyes and the spirit that you see surrounding and dancing around you, that's what I want you to see. The light that shines. Not Ryan Souza, not Johanna, not Alethea and the band. I want you to see the light that shines and emanates from you. And again, that can only come in the releasing. The last part of this is, well, I kind of mushed everything together because of what CJ started. But it was perfect. It was a perfect way to give me a segue into what I needed to speak about. We feel like we need to fill the space, the empty space. In my breathing earlier, we often feel that within that empty space that we have to fill it with things. And really we don't, right? Or we have to think that when we end a relationship, we have to jump directly into another relationship. And really we don't. We need to spend time with ourselves. We need to spend time with Spirit, with God, allowing that Spirit to guide us through. To be alone with God in deep silence is fullness of joy. And this is, so one of my most beloved friends, his name is Jay Laren, and he was a phenomenal Hawaiian musician, or a musician that contributed to our Hawaiian community in profound ways. And every day he sends me a poem. And every day the poem is about silence and connecting with Spirit. And this is just one of them that he sent to me recently. To be alone with God in deep silence is fullness of joy. I want you to find that time for you to spend that quietness, that silent time, whether it's in your prayer, your meditation, or at dinner, eating your food in a corner by yourself or something, just being silent, just being by yourself and spending that time with Spirit. It always reminds me that on this journey, the concept is that it always seems the darkest, the heaviest on a journey where we're at the precipice of whether we live or die. That's always the darkest moment before we truly see the light. And one of the things that reminds me of this is Rabindranath Tagore's poem of faith. Faith is a bird that feels the light, that begins to sing when dawn is still dark. The bird knows that the light is coming, but it is at its darkest point. But it starts to sing at that point because it knows the sun is coming. And this is what I want all of you to know, is that that's what faith is, right? For you to know that as dark as things might be, there is the light beyond that. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world." And I've expressed that in a couple of talks before, where we are the light that sits on top of the hill. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, right? This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Empty out our bowl and let that light shine. If your healing helps no one else, it's self-improvement. If your healing helps others to rise, then that's illumination. If anything that I want you to think of yourself as is kalamaku, the torch bearer. And if you need us to light that torch for you, then let that happen. Allow us to be the ones to support that. Allow your own journey in the way that you manifest or the way that you uncover these truths of who you truly are to allow your torch to shine brighter and brighter. The torch is, yes, for you to see your own way, but as you light your stone or your torch, and as this torch becomes brighter and brighter, then it also helps others to see the path as well, to recognize their responsibility to carry their torches high as well. We have an obligation. We have a purpose in this life to illuminate. This illumination can only come through elimination. The bowl has 2 stones left. See how beautiful the gold is? See how precious it shines in the light? 1 left. Thank you, brother. Imagine this as being divine light, bright light, shining about, having nothing to hold it back. But then there's one more step, right? Recognizing that we are not the bowl, that we are the light. The bowl will still inhibit light, and I want you to know who you truly are. I am not the bowl. I am the light. I want you to close your eyes. Again, breathe in the divine breath. Hopefully within this breath there is clarity on who we truly are. Again, release. If you feel any mental stones within you, anything that is inhibiting this light from shining and flowing, release it, release it, release it. Let it go. Let it go. Take another breath. And again, release. Imagine what your bowl of light looks like. In a time of the past, it would have carried stones, and now I want you to imagine this bowl carrying only light. This pure and divine, still connected to the source, still connected to God. It is everything that we are meant to be, everything that we were born to be. I am not 55 years old. I am thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. I am millions of years old if I look back at the beginning of time when all of this perhaps began as one source, oneness, light, God, love. That's where I began. Everything that had come of me beyond that point was just there for the time being, and now no more. I'm returning to the essence of who I truly am. I need you to know this. I need you to know that you are pure light. See yourself gently lifting that stones or the stones from your bowl, releasing them, saying thank you and aloha, ahui ho to you. I no longer need you in my life. I understand my purpose. I understand who I am meant to be. Allow me to move forward with this knowing. In 2017, Maxine Waters, one of our beloved congresswomen, in 2017, she made this phrase famous. And there are many, many people who utilize this now. I am reclaiming my time. Right? And she would say this when somebody was trying to interrupt her. I'm reclaiming my time. And I want you to repeat this after me. I'm reclaiming my light. I'm reclaiming my love. I'm reclaiming the joy. I'm reclaiming the peace. I am reclaiming my love. Nobody can take this pain away from me, or nobody can take this light, this love, this joy away from me. It is who I am meant to be. There is a song that we often sang that, and I always do this because I go back to the days of my Pentecostal days. And it's a song that says, this love that I am, The world didn't give it to me. No, this love that I am. The world didn't give it to me. This love that I am. The world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. Stand up, please. And I know you're hearing this for the first time, but it's easy to follow. Next line, this love that I am. This love that I am. The world didn't give it to me. No, this love that I am. The world didn't give it to me. This love that I am. The world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. Back to joy. This joy that I am. The world didn't give it to me. No, this joy that I am. The world didn't give it to me. This joy that I am. The world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. This peace that I am. One more time. This peace that I am. The world didn't give it to me. This peace that I am. The world didn't give it to me. This peace that I am. The world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. Understand where your love, your joy, your peace, everything that is of God comes from. It is not the world. It is not from our minds telling us who we ought to be. It is back to the source, back to the beginning, back to the creation of everything that we are meant to be, back to the oneness that we know we are. Don't let the world stop you. Don't let your mind stop you. Don't let your job stop you or anything that you think you are labeled by stop you. We are free to be the light that we are meant to be. We are free to be the love that God intends us to be. So be that love, be that joy, be that peace for yourself, for everybody around you. This is no joke. We are here to be this for ourselves, and in turn we illuminate the world. We become what Aloha is meant to be and who we are meant to be. So be that, be that, be that from this point forward and forevermore. Aloha, amen, amene. Go in peace. I love you. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. Mahalo.